All right, folks, so I've got another Liquify tip for you here. And this one really makes the tool a lot easier to use because it keeps you from having to worry about affecting other areas of the photo. It's the freeze option inside of Liquify, because Liquify is a great tool. For example, what I'd want to do in this photo is her dress kind of poofs out in certain areas. And I didn't catch this when I was shooting. So right down here, it poofs out. We talked about this in another video. But right over here, you can see it kind of poofs out a little bit, where over here, it kind of fits to her shape. It's just kind of straightened over here. So I want to tuck that in. So the problem is, and let's get into Liquify. So I'm going to press Command or Control J. Let's make a copy of the layer. That way we have a separate one to work on, and makes it easier to see the before and after. And then don't forget, I always like to make a selection of the area that I'm going to work on, because that's going to help Liquify run faster. So I'm just making a selection of the portion of the image here. We'll go to Filter, Liquify. And what happens here is if I want to start to bring this portion of the dress in, watch what happens. Her arm goes with it. The dress looks fine. Her arm goes with it. And that's the problem with Liquify, is if you do things the way that you want to, sometimes you're going to affect another part of the photo. So what we can do is we can come over here, take this freeze tool, and I don't really have to worry too much about painting in anything other than the arm. I don't care if it goes onto the white, because I don't really care about the white in this case. All right, I just want to make sure that her arm and her hand stay put. Same thing over here. I'm going to bring this area down a little bit. So I just want to make sure that her hand doesn't move, and her arm. So this essentially freezes whatever I'm painting on right now. Everything in red is frozen. So now I can take my forward warp tool. I'll take a really large brush here. All right. And now I can click and drag and just kind of tuck that in a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Just a little tiny bit here. Just tiny small movements. Okay. Same thing down here. Okay, you can see it kind of starts to show a little edge there. I can crop that out later if I need to. What I really want to do is just make sure it doesn't poof out like it did, and maybe over here just a hair. Just a little tiny bit to bring that in. Okay, so let's click OK. And now we'll take a look at it. Let me deselect. That's before, that's after. Again, before and after. So all I'm doing is just kind of making it go to the contour of her body here, all right? Because I didn't catch some of these little areas that kind of poofed out when I was shooting. And sometimes it's hard to catch all those things. And that's why Liquify is it's such a good tool that it just gets a bad name, because you can do weird things to a photo with it. But it works out perfectly in cases like this. And once you get that you can use that freeze option with it, it makes it so much easier to use, because now you can freeze a portion of the photo and you can use the tools pretty freely without having to worry about warping other parts of your photo.